السلام عليكم، مرحبا بكم في هذا اللايف اللي غادي يكون ضيفة الحلقة ديالنا هي ديانا. وقعوا لنا دي بروبليم تكنيك ويقدروا يزيدوا يوقعوا لنا دي بروبليم تكنيك، ما عرفناش علاش. ديانا ما قدراتش تدخل معنا for some reason. I'm trying so hard. Give up until she comes. So لا رجوع. خليها تدخل معنا. سمحوا لنا بزاف الاخوان باسكو فريمون I don't like this so much. المهم الضيفه لهاد الحلقه ديالنا هي واحد الضيفه اللي عندها خبره مع الخدامي في كندا، ماشي ليميغراسيون، ما كديرش هي ليميغراسيون، ما كديرش شي حاجه سميتها الهجره، كدير الخدامي طومبورير، ومن داك الطومبورير نتايا تقد تنقل تولي بيرمانون. من طومبورير غتولي بيرمانون، ومني غادي تولي بيرمانون ديك الساعه تقدر تكون ايميغرون. ولكن في الطومبورير راه ما يمكنلكش امبوسيبل تولي ايميغرون، يعني هي ما كديش ما كديش الزماكريه، كديك تخدم طومبوريرمون، كديك تخدم طومبوريرمون. I hope she can accept this request وتدخل معنا ان شاء الله باش نبداو الموضوع ديالنا. فريمون تعطلنا دابا. Hello.
Hi.
Finally.
Oh my God. Yeah, I'm on my phone because hang on, let me see. Oh God.
All right.
That's the problem with the phone.
So yeah, that's okay. I mean, technical problems happen in almost every live, so that's not surprising. So I just hope people actually join it. It's actually we got a really good number, 123, 24 is getting higher. So welcome, Diana. Thank you so much for accepting the invite to join this live, this super clarificative live that we're gonna clarify everything in regards to working in Canada, and specifically temporary jobs. شكرا بزاف. I'm going to be translating, so I hope you don't mind. I'm going to be speaking a little bit in English. Let you speak in English. I'm going to translate a little bit so everybody can, participate. So I'm going to give you a chance to, introduce yourself.
Okay. So I'm Dianna Lifanica, and I'm actually based in Morocco. I've been here for 14 years. And you can see I've helped maybe over 1,000 people go to Canada through a worker program, some kind of working program. I don't do immigration. My specialty is working. Yeah, that's basically it. You'll find good news about me and bad news.
So basically قلت لكم الدراري، قلت لكم هي ديانا هي مقيمه بالمغرب، ما مقيماش في كندا، هي راه كاينه في المغرب في شي مدينه. عاونت اكثر من 1000 واحد يجي لكندا، وفريمون هي ما كديرش ليميغراسيون، كدير الخدمه. she does work not immigration. Immigration is a different thing. شي حاجه اللي ماشي ما كديرهاش هي، ولكن كدير الخدمه، كتلقى الخدمه وكتجيبها لك بواحد الطريقه من شي طرق باش كتجي نتايا لكندا. Awesome. So I mean, it looks like you've been doing this for a while, helping people, bringing them to Canada, basically. So why don't we just go ahead and start with the questions, if you may? So
yeah.
So the topics that we're going to be talking about are, the first one is the French exam laziness, the rumors and the experiences that you have with people. So what do you think about the French exam? Like, I think the French exam is mandatory.
We weren't sure about that, but now we're starting. This past week, we started getting a lot of emails from the embassy. They are requesting the TF. And unfortunately, it wasn't something we were expecting because Morocco is a French-speaking country, but we have to follow what the embassy is doing, and they are requesting the TF. And you need a B2 straight across all 4 sections. There's no gray zones here. It's a B2. No, there's not. You need a B2 straight across.
Okay. So
we do prepare people for it.
اوكي سو بيسيكلي اش قالت لكم الدراري ديك انا سولتها كيفاش هاد لونجلي يعني ماشي لونجلي اسمح لي الفرونسي يعني ليكزاميناسيون دو فرونسي الامتحان الفرنسيه قال لك اسيدي في هذه الاونه الاخيره دابا حاليا لومباساد كتقول لك خاصك تجيب بي 2 خاصك تجيب بي 2 في كاع لي سيكسيون ديال داك الامتحان ديال التي اف يعني بلا بها غير نسى دابا الامباساد كتحط ما بقاتش بحال نقولوا الناس اللي جاوا شحال هذه اللي جاوا في ايامات الغفله ولكن دابا حاليا ضروري يعني دير بيد. Okay, so basically the embassies, that's what they're doing, right? So they're
Yeah, it is. Like that's what they're requesting. That's in Morocco, though. I'm not talking about the other countries.
right.
Like for Saudi Arabia, they don't do interviews at all. They just hand out the visas. For Qatar and Bahrain, like places like that, we haven't really seen the embassy has opened. So we still don't know what they're going to be processing as.
Exactly. So as per your experience with Moroccan candidates, I mean, do you see that there's some kind of a laziness or some kind of a, you know, on their behalf of doing the test or some, maybe it's laziness, maybe they're not motivated enough to do it?
I find that like we do the TF exam preparation. I was giving out the link before so that people could start preparing. I have access to that so I can see that they're not doing it. I find that once they get a contract, then they're in there. You know what I mean? And now I found that the embassy started asking, and I found that people weren't even doing the preparation.
Oh,
now they have
even,
1 month
they would just go jump into the test.
Yeah.
And they wouldn't get.
They're not prepared. That's the problem. Is they're not prepared for that. If I'm telling them that French is, and they'll say to me, "You didn't tell me that French is a requirement." Yeah, I did. You know what I mean? You need to go back and read the messages I sent that French B2 is the requirement. You know, and a lot of these people, they have a wonderful profile, but the problem is the French.
So basically, you're talking about people that have maybe 9 years plus experience, and they're incredible. Like maybe they're young and they have good diplomas, but it's the French that gets them, right?
It's the French. It's not that they have good diplomas. They need the work experience.
The work experience.
You know, the work experience, not the diploma. I need the work experience.
You need the work experience.
Yeah, like we've sent mechanics, people who have a mechanic diploma. They're actually working for McDonald's Canada as a food service supervisor because that is their work experience.
Oh, because okay, so they have a diploma, but they worked elsewhere. So that means they accumulated enough experience for that type of job, not the.
Yeah.
Okay, that's very interesting. And so, you know, we've had a conversation before, and you talked about rumors, right? So people still spread out rumors about, oh, Canada doesn't do this, Canada does, so it's the word of the mouth, basically. So what do you got to say about that? Like, what do you got to say?
Like the problem with people is they listen to someone else. For example, if you're a cook and your friend is a truck driver, he will listen to you, and it's not the same process. You know what I mean? It's totally different. And like, and people come back to me and they're saying, oh, but my friend did this. I don't care what your friend did. This is what we're doing now. You know what I mean? We follow whatever the government says.
That's true.
So if like for now, the embassy's asking for TF.
Okay.
Don't come back to me and say, well, my friend didn't do the TF. I don't care if your friend didn't do the TF.
That's true.
It's what the embassy's asking for.
So let me
we don't want to take profiles that aren't going to make it through the embassy.
Exactly. So let me just translate that part for them. So basically قلت لكم الدراري قلت لكم باللي ما تبقاوش تسمعوا بزاف تاع الناس اللي ديجا تما حيت كل واحد مشى بواحد الطريقه ديالو ولكن الاخر مستجدات كيكونوا من الناس اللي هما ثقه خاصك تسمع ليهم. وثاني حاجه قلت لك ما كاينش شي حاجه سميتها واش بلا ما ندير التي اف راه صاحبي مشى بالتي اف اما كحل اما ابيض ما كاينش شي حاجه سميتها جري فهمتي يعني it's either black or white. If they ask you to do the TF you're gonna have to do it. راه ما غاديش يديروا معك اخر ثمن ولا يقول لك ايوا صافي تعامل معنا الظروف ما كايناش شي حاجه سميتها هكاك. There's nothing. You gotta do it. It's not up to me. It's not up to her. It's up to the embassy and the government. راه الجوفرنمون هو اللي كيحكم، ماشي انا ولا هي ولا شي واحد. ملي كنقولوا لكم حنا خصكم دير شنو خصكم ديروا، راه يو غاتا جو دو ات. راه ما كاينش شي حاجه ما بين، بحال كيقول لك شي واحد انا جبت البي ان، واش سلاك اخويا بي ان؟ كيفاش غتسلاكها؟ واش غندير لها الزيت باش نسلكها؟ راه خاصك بي 2. That's it. If you, it's not B1, it's B2. So otherwise you're refused, right? Otherwise they refuse the whole thing. And you wasted your money, you wasted everything.
Unfortunately.
Exactly. So that's part of the, basically that's part of the topic that we're talking about, and we're gonna move forward with the topics. Is so what Canada is looking for overall in terms of temporary work permits.
So what I've seen, like we just got finished with 15 contracts for painters.
Painters. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, industrial painters.
Okay.
So this one is an LMIA, which is very new for us. We don't normally do LMIA, but we do get them off a little bit. So painters they're looking for, because this company, we've dealt with them quite a few times in the past, but they've always been Francophone.
Oh,
Like
so
they always,
are they in
yeah.
Quebec?
So no, they're not. No. When I talk about Francophone, I mean the Francophone Mobility Program.
Oh,
Sorry.
right.
So where French is the requirement.
Right.
This one is an LMIA, so English would be the requirement for it.
Okay. So what about other occupancies like cooks, mechanics, all of that?
Cooks is number one. Yeah, definitely cooks has always been number one for 14 years that I've been here. Okay. Now we've seen a rise in food service supervisors. So there's a lot of food service supervisors. When I talk about food service supervisors, because I know it's different in Morocco than Canada, we're talking about the people, for example, who are head waiters. They still supervise people. Chef d'orange, captains, restaurant supervisors, restaurant managers, the second assistants in McDonald's. So anyone higher than a formateur, so people who train people in McDonald's, anyone who is responsible of other people's work.
Okay. So
mechanics we've had.
Okay.
Next month we're going to go for truck drivers, courier drivers.
What was that again?
Courier.
Courier. Like courier drive, like FedEx and all that.
Yeah, like FedEx. Yeah, okay. Exactly.
So let me just translate that part. So قلت لكم الدراري أول دومين كيجي لها في بالها في هذا 14 عام كامل اللي كانت فيها هي اللي كيخدموا يعني في الريستورون. يعني الطبخ، أول حاجة هي الطبخ. ثاني حاجة هي الميكانيسيان، الميكانيك، أي حاجة عندها علاقة بالميكانيك. ثالث حاجة هي دوك اللي كيكونوا السوبرفيزور ديال المطاعم، مثلا السوبرفيزور ديال some kind of a restaurant، ولا خدمتي مثلا في ماكدونالد ولا شي حاجة. والرابعة دابا قالت لك هي البينترز، يعني الصباغة اللي كانت هضرت عليهم يلاه دابا. ودابا قالت لك كورير درايفرز هما ماشي تراك درايفرز. But I think truck drivers are eligible to be courier drivers. I mean, they've been through something even higher, right?
Yeah, they can.
So they can. So قال لك سيدي دابا داك الناس اللي داروا التراكينغ، اللي داروا يعني الكاميوات، سوق الكاميوات دابا حاليا هي كدير داكشي ديال اللي غادي يوصلوا الرسائل والبضاعات وداكشي، يعني بحال اللي يقولوا فيدكس ولا امانه وداكشي ديال كندا. So that's pretty interesting. So basically Canada, but you know what? I think that our group here, I mean 225 people are watching us. It's pretty diverse. So we can see the NOCs from 0, A and B. But what you're suggesting here, mostly what Canada is looking for is B, around B area, right?
Yeah, exactly.
So let me translate that part. شنو قلت لها الدراري؟ قلت لها ان المجموعه اللي كتقلب عليها كندا حاليا للخدمه هي NOC B نوك بي ماشي نوك A. إذا ما فهمتيش نوك A ونوك B سير lesson رقم 3. I have it in my profile. Lesson number 3 has the definition of NOC A B C. So basically اش كيقلبوا عليهم؟ كيقلبوا على نوك B ماشي على نوك A. دوك اللي كيكونوا مثلا like for doctors, engineers and all of that. What kind of advice do you have for these people finding temporary work?
The problem with doctors is Canada wants them to immigrate to Canada.
Not work
so
temporarily.
Not work temporarily. They want them to come and immigrate, because they have a good profile. Now, if we're talking about nurses, nurses can come through the caregiver program, but the doctors, they want them to immigrate automatically.
Okay, okay. So, and what about engineers? I would say like NOCA is mostly designated, quote unquote, for immigration and not for temporary work, right? Would you agree with that?
I agree with that one.
So yeah, قلت لكم الدراري الناس اللي لي زانجينيور اللي تبارك الله لي بروفيسور all of that all doctors كاملين اللي كيكونوا في الكاتيجوري A ولا زيرو even zero, right? So zero or A, managerial and all that, they are more prone to immigration than to temporarily working here. يعني هذوك خصهم يميغريو. اما خلي الناس اللي دايرين تكوين والناس اللي عندهم خبره في الان او سي بي هما اللي غادي يمشيو temporairement. So this is basically what I said. Okay, so that's very interesting. So if we could move on, do you have anything to add to that, or it's super clear?
The one thing I want to be clear with is, for example, if you're a cook and that's all the experience you have, you can only apply for a cook position. You cannot take a job from a Canadian without any experience. So if a Canadian doesn't have experience, you don't have experience, they must hire the Canadian. They cannot hire a foreign worker. If the Canadian doesn't have experience and you have experience, and for example, for a cook, we can get you a job that way. But if you don't come to me and say, I want to apply for this position, I have no experience, I can't help you.
Okay.
You need the experience.
So let me translate that part loud and clear in Moroccan. So what she's saying basically, الدراري إلا ما عندكش l'expérience غير نسى إلا ما عندكش l'expérience غير نسى هذا الشيء كامل. حيت الناس حيت كاين شي كندي هنايا ما يكونش عنده l'expérience غيفضلوه عليك انت عليه يفضلوه هو عليك نتايا لحقاش هو كندي وما خدامش. يعني شنو الفرق بينك وبينه؟ هو هنايا موجود يعني يقدر يخدم لك من غدا. يعني اش كنقول لكم خص l'expérience. اللي ما عندوش خبره يمشي يدير خبره بالعربيه. Voilà. I'm going to move on to the next question if you don't mind. So how can workers be more qualified and what type of workers are qualified to go? So basically we answered this question even beforehand, right? So
yeah, we did.
Yeah, so basically what type of how can workers be more qualified is basically with the French testing, right? They got to have the French, and maybe they should have 100% they should have the experience, right?
Yeah, they need the experience. We can't do anything without it. Also, like most of the jobs are in the English side. Even if I talk about Francophone, that's the program. So what I tell people, English is for the employer. If you cannot talk to me in English, you won't be able to talk to our employers. Okay. So you won't get a contract.
Okay.
Yeah. You're going to have to pay an office inscription. Don't waste your money if you don't speak the languages. I mean, unfortunately, I don't speak French. That's why we test you. And they also, sometimes the employer, they're kind of lenient with the English. So I let the employer decide if your English is good enough or not.
Okay.
Because I can understand Moroccans. So French and English, you need French for that visa.
Let me translate that part. So اش قالت لكم الدراري؟ قالت لكم دابا هاد السيده هادي الا جاتك شي خدمه شي كونطرات الخدمه مثلا ياك وجاتك باش تمشي للمنطقه خارج كيبيك، يعني هي اسرع طريقه هي خارج كيبيك. outside of Quebec is the fastest way. the employer خارج كيبيك كيهضروا بالانجلي، يعني انت خاص يكون عندك واحد النيفو د الانجلي. you need to have a level of English اللي غادي تقدر غير تكومونيكي مع الامبلوير، تهضر مع الخدام ديالك in an interview or something. they need to know who you are. خاصهم يعرفوا شكون انت. يعني خاصو يكون عندك واحد النيفو د الانجلي واخا غير ديال نيفو د فوقيد مثلا. وضروري الامتحان د الفرنسي. دابا حاليا الفرنسي ما حيدوهاش لك الطبيعه، ضروري دير التسائل. وهذا الشيء بجوج من هاد الجوج ديال النقاط هادو قبل ما تلقى الكونطرا. يعني تقدر توجد عليك هاد النقاط هادو قبل ما تلقى الكونطرا، وملي تلقى الكونطرا راك ناضي. والامتحان ديال الفرنسي خص كلشي يكون فيه B2 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 B2. خصك تجيب B2 all over. Okay, so I did my best in translating that part, maybe giving it a little bit extra. So yeah, so as she said, you need to و something else نسيت ما قلتش، انه قالت لومبلوير هو اللي عنده الحق يختارك الى هضرتي معاه بواحد النيفو ديال لونجلي ديالك مثلا في الانترفيو، هضرتي معاه هو عنده الحق يقول هذا السيد غادي يدير لي خدمه ولا لا غادي السيد يدير خدمه. ولكن ما كنقولكش ان تكون عندك لونجلي ديال شكسبير، ماشي بالضروري غير لونجلي ديال you know what level of English do you think Diana they should have? I mean it's just basic.
They should. It depends on their job. If they're a supervisor and they're going to be managing like Filipinos, Indians, whoever, Canadians, whatever, they have to be able to tell them what to do. If they're a cook, they should at least read English so that they can read the telecommand, what they're supposed to be cooking next, how to build a recipe. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So if you're going to be talking to people, you need a good level of English. If you're going to be in the back of the house doing, well, I don't know, whatever, cooking, maybe cleaning, whatever the case may be, you don't need as high of English. But again, that's up to the employer. Like, for example, if they have a lot of Moroccans there or Tunisians or Algerians or whatever, maybe they don't need your English to be quite as high.
Right. So دابا اش قالت لكم على حسب لومبلوير. دابا لومبلوير فين غادي يلوحك على حسب هو فين غادي يديك. الا كان غادي يديك الكوزينه راه خاصك تعرف تقرا داكشي كامل بلونجلي لحقاش كلشي غادي يكون بلونجلي ياك. الا كان غادي يديك مثلا تقرا في واحد وتخدم في واحد لونفيرونمون اللي فيه توانسه مغاربه، هذا راه ما غيحكرش عليك بزاف في لونجلي، يعني انت وزهرك. ولكن ضروري يكون عندك واحد البيسك انجلش ليفل، راه ما يحيدهاش لك الطبيب. بيسك انجلش ماشي advanced, not intermediate, just basic, and just to communicate. You could learn. I mean, daily. I mean, on a daily basis, you could learn the daily vocabulary even if you didn't have any English, right? المهم غادي ندوزو النقطة الجاية هي the LMIA exception. So you know how it is. For the LMIA exception C16, does it work in the worker's favor to come to Canada as a temporary worker?
Well, you know what? I'm going to tell you about the Francophone Mobility, which is the LMIA exemption.
Yeah.
It's called the Francophone Mobility Program. How many countries in the world speak French?
I think Switzerland, Belgium,
compared to
France.
English.
Yeah, no, compared to English, it's negligible.
Yeah. So, and I don't know if anyone really knows about Canada, but the number one employee in Canada is the Filipinos. You know, they work like crazy. They never complain. They just work. You know what I mean? So they're the number one. So if we're talking about the LMIA, you come up against a Filipino, most likely they're going to win. You know, this is, I don't mean to be racist in any form or whatever, but this is the truth. If you go to any Tim Hortons, any place in McDonald's,
statistically they are present. Yeah.
They're very well, they're everywhere. And, you know, it's because they don't say anything. They just work. They don't complain, nothing. They just do their job, go home. So for the Francophone, who speaks French? It's mostly you'll find Moroccans, Tunisians, Algerians, because French people don't want to go to Canada. Belgian people don't want to go to Canada because, I mean, they have it pretty good in their country.
Switzerland, I mean,
you know?
why would they bother? Yeah.
Why would they bother? So we're looking at the third world countries that want to go to Canada. So I see that you don't have a high competition.
Exactly. So let me just translate this part. So قالت لكم الدراري إلا مشيتي بال LMIA without exemption, بلا exemption, يعني just the LMIA, okay, just with the LMIA غتكون كتناطح مع بزاف الناس باغيين يديروا ال LMIA من بيناتهم الهنود والفلبين وداكشي اللي كنت شرحت لكم في الاول. غتناطح معاهم، انت داخل معاهم اللي غادي دير LMIA هي الليبر ماركت امباكت اسسمنت، يعني واش نتايا واش هاد الخدمه كاين كندي يديرها. ولكن من حيت نتايا كتهضر بالفرنسي عندك واحد الطريقه اللي غتنقص داك الاليماي وتنقص داك الفلبين وتنقص داك الناس كاملين وتدخل نيشان، لحقاش انت you speak in English in French, you speak in French, so you are exempt. نتايا استثناء من هاد الاليماي. الفلبيني غادي يدخل في ال MIA انت غتنقزها وغادي تجي نيشان you're gonna start the procedures the work visa procedures غادي تبدا نيشان لي بروسيدور ديال الفيزا ديال الخدمه حيت اول حاجه the first test is the LMIA but either you go LMIA or you go exception. Exactly. So basically it's in the worker's favor. That is the answer to the question. It is in the worker's favor, in the Moroccan's worker's favor.
Not only that, it's for the employer too. The employer doesn't have to pay anything.
There you go.
They pay $230 Canadian, and if they don't get the visa, they get the money back from the government.
There you go. Let me translate that part.
Now, an LMIA.
Let me translate that part.
An LMIA costs $1,000.
Yeah. So guys, LMIA exemption ما خساره ليك لا انت لا الامبلوي ديالك. علاش؟ حيت اول حاجه انت داير فرنسي خاصك تمشي دير الفرنسي، من بعد هذاك الامبلوي غادي يخلص $230 ومن غادي يخلص $230 قبلوك الحكومه قبلت لك الاكزامبسيون تبارك الله، ما قبلتهاش يردوا ليه $230 يعني ربحه وين وين. Okay, and for the LMIA how much does it cost, the normal one?
It costs $1,000 per person, and if they don't get the LMIA annex code, they don't get a refund.
Oh, so قال لك سيدي ال MIA العاديه اللي كيمشي فيها الناس العالم اللي ما كيهضرش بالفرنسي، ال MIA العاديه كيخلصوا عليها $1000 للواحد، و$1000 ما كترجعهمش ليها الحكومه الى ما قبلوش الدوسي ديالي، ما ترجعش ليه هو ماشي ليك نتايا، ما ترجعش للامبلوير. There you go. So that is, I think the exception is basically it's a black hole for Moroccans to come here. That's it.
It is. It's an easy way for the Moroccans. Like they don't really have to fight against anyone.
That's it.
You know, like I said, there's not a lot of French speakers who want to come to Canada. You know what I mean? So, I mean, it's a Moroccan against Moroccan or Tunisian or Algerian like that. So you don't have a lot of competition. And then it comes to the French. That's it.
That's it. You don't have the competition. ما كاينش تنافس. There's no competition. انت كتهضر فرونسي غدوز تي اف في سونتر انستيتيوت فرونسي، حط اخويا ديك الدبلومه في جيبك وتقلب على كونترا. The moment you get it, you're good. All right. So we're going to move on to the following topic, which is money an issue in coming to Canada as a worker? So you're coming as a worker. Do you need money?
Actually, yes, you do.
Okay.
Yeah. You need to show the embassy that you have the financial means to take care of yourself. When you come to Canada and you get sick, who's going to pay for your medication?
Okay.
Who's going to feed you? You know what I mean?
But you're working.
You need to have money until you get your first paycheck.
There you go. That's the trick. Okay.
Yeah.
So
we like to see.
So it's a transient.
We like to see
it's a transient thing. So when you get a paycheck, so while you come to Canada until you get your first paycheck, you gotta take care of yourself in that period. So that's all you gotta do.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And so we like to see at least 15,000 dirhams in your account. Dirhams, not dollars. Dirhams in your account.
Oh, that's not too much. I mean, compared to, yeah. So 15,000 خصك تكون عندك مليون ونص في الكونت، مليون ونص في الكونت باش تجي. قال لك اسيدي كندا خصها تشوف بلي واخا تجي نتايا عامل طومبورال خاصك تهلا في راسك بما خرجت لك الخلصه الاولى. خاص يكون عندك 1 مليون ونص في الكونت اللي تديها معاك وتهلا في راسك فيها بما خرجت لك الخلصه الاولى، ولكن most probably you work within the first 2 weeks. I mean, right?
Well, yeah, you have to work right away. Like once you get there. Yeah, they usually give you a few days to adjust because you know you're traveling across the way, so there's that jet lag. But I think most guys start within the first 3 days.
First 3 days. Okay, so
except now they're in quarantine, but
quarantine, yeah.
But so they're paid for that quarantine.
Yeah, so باش قال لك سيدي باللي ملي كتعرف في كندا خاصك تبدا الخدمه سور بلاص within 2 weeks. يعني من within 2 weeks maybe كاين الناس اللي كيخدموا هنا 3 ايام، ولكن ما بين ما صدمتي في كندا وخدمتي خاصك تهلا في راسك في ذاك البيريود. هي اللي ديك الفلوس اللي كنت اللي طلبت لك هي ديال المليون ونص، ولكن ماشي بالضروره تكون مليون ونص، تقدر تكون ليد المور ليد ليس، المهم شي بركه اللي غادي تهلا في راسك بها ملي تجي لكندا. So basically, and the flight ticket, really, it really depends, right? The flight ticket, it's either the employer is paying or you're paying.
No, LMIA, the employer has to pay, but for the Francophone, they don't. But our employers are really, really super good.
Okay.
If you ask them, a lot of them will pay for the ticket and then they take it back over the next year.
Oh, from your paycheck.
Yeah, because they don't have to pay, but a lot of them they will. They will, pay for it to help you to get there, and then they negotiate like how long. It's usually over a year's period that they get that money back.
Okay, that is
Yeah.
impressive. So basically, اش قالت لكم اسيدي ملي كتمشي بالال ام اي العاديه الاو اي ام تي كتسمى الاو اي ام تي بالفرنسي لومبلويي ضروري يخلص لك التيكي ديالك باش تجي تقرا باش تجي تخدم اسمح لي ولكن بالال ام اي اكزامبشن اللي هي فرانكوفون موبيليتي ماشي بالضروري عليه يخلص لك التيكي ديال الطياره ديالك ولكن لي زومبلوي لي زومبلويور اللي كتعامل معاهم هي كيكونوا ظريفين كيخلصوا لك التيكي ديالك وكيحيدوا لك من الصالير من بعد كيحيدوا لك شويه بشويه من الصالير يعني بيسكلي ما كتخلص انت والو انت زيرو درهم كتخرج من مطار محمد الخامس غادي ليشان لكندا تيكي الي. That's really good information. I never knew that the LMI exemption they don't really have to pay. But that's great. But I'm guessing you're dealing with really good companies.
Well, I don't know. Yeah, we do.
Awesome. So we're gonna jump over to the questions and so we're gonna jump over to the questions and answers session. So we're gonna make it really clear. 15 minutes. And then we're gonna take your questions. دراري اللي عنده شي سؤال يسول دابا يديرها في ذاك القوقعة أو يديرها في الكومنتس. I'm gonna pin it. اللايف إن شاء الله غادي يبقى مسجل إن شاء الله. Okay. My first question, Diana. My first question, and not to waste any time. How can you prove your work experience? كيفاش let me say it in Arabic. كيفاش غادي تبرهن على خبرة العمل ديالك.
So you can use work certificates. You need real work certificates, work contracts, because sometimes with ANAPIC they don't give you the work certificate, but they give you the contract. Synesis, if you have, that would be another one. And that's it. Yeah.
So
unless you have an auto entrepreneur card.
An entrepreneur card also counts.
Yeah.
Okay.
We can take that.
Let me clear that up for him. So قلت لك يا سيدي بطاقة المقاول كتقبل في الخدمة ماشي بالهجرة. We're talking about work, not immigration, just to make it clear. بطاقة المقاول كتقبل. الكونترات الخدمة كتقبل. لا سانيسيس تقبل. لا نابيك تقبل. هاد الحوايج كاملين كيتقبلوا يعني اي حاجه عندها علاقه ديالك انت زعما انت كنتي خدام كتبرهن باللي كنتي خدام راك غادي تمشي. Internships, I don't think they're accepted, are they, Diana?
No, we don't accept stages or internships.
No, you need real work. You need real paid work, full time, fully paid. You know, so you can prove to the Canadian employer that you're actually a guy that's coming here to do work. All right, let me take a few questions. All right. So I'm gonna put this question. It's not necessarily for les mécaniciens, for the mechanics, but I'm gonna ask it as a general question. What is the minimum required experience as per your experience? What is the minimum that they look at? Maybe.
So we like to see 2 years of experience. This is, and it doesn't need to be in one company, but it needs to be, I like to see steady experience because it gives them a better chance. Remember, our goal is to get you to Canada, not just to blah, 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 whatever. No. So we like to see 2 years of experience. Sometimes the employer can accept less, but we prefer 2.
اوكي سو بيسيكلي اش قالت لكم الدراري؟ قالت لكم كيعجبوهم لي زومبلويي وكاع اللي كيتكلفوا لك بالدوسي وكيلقاو لك الكونترا، كيعجبهم يشوفوا جوج ديال الاعوام ديال الاكسبيريونس. هاد جوج الاعوام تقدر يكون عام هنا وعام لهيه او نص عام هنا، ولكن ما يكونش بزاف ديال التبدال، لحقاش التبدال كتكون انستابل. كيعجبوهم هما تكون stable in your job، كتكون stable in stability is good. So 2 years is the minimum, and that answers the question. Basically, in most fields, right? I would say cooking and all that, right?
Yeah.
كاع لي دومين عامين minimum. Okay. So one very interesting question came here from Karim. He said, does the work experience has to necessarily be in the diploma domain?
No.
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 So that's no. Okay.
I don't need a diploma. Yeah.
You don't need a diploma.
So if you have a nouveau bac, that's the minimum education I can accept. Okay? If you are a cook and you have a diploma as some kind of engineer, whatever, I don't care. I need that experience, not the diploma.
Okay. So قالت لكم خاصها الخبرة ما خاصهاش
It's easy to explain to the embassy.
خاصها الخبرة ما خاصهاش ديبلوم، خاصها الخبرة. ما عندها ما دير ديبلوم، واخا تكون انت انجينيور من المحمدية ولكن طباخ واحد العامين وعندك براقك، جيب لها الخبرة غادي تمشي. Okay. That's the idea. All right, let me take another. So have you ever taken any farming people? Like something that has to do with farming?
You know, we had contracts for that, and the problem was the employer looked at the processing time and
He couldn't do it.
He backed out.
Okay.
No. He said it was too long of a processing time, so he backed out.
Okay, so let me clarify this point because I already talked about it in one of my slides. دراري قالت لكم باللي بالنسبه للناس الاغريكولتور وهذا دازوا عندها شي وحدين ديال الاغريكولتور، ولكن ملي شافوا باللي الوقت ديال البروسيس طويل ما قدروش يصبروا. سو قال لها ما بغيناش، يعني الامبلوي ديما خصو يصبر عليك على البروسيس ديالك، ما يمكنش يعطيك داك الشيء وهو يدخل لك لكل شيء. Okay, so somebody is asking about minimum age.
You need to be an adult.
Yeah, that makes sense. It makes a lot of sense.
So the youngest boy I sent to Canada was Muad, and he was 19.
19.
But his family owns a construction company, so he always worked in the construction company. And I think by the time he was 19, he had at least 4 years of experience. And the embassy took it.
Wow.
I mean, it's not a small construction company. It's a huge one in Safi.
Okay, so as long as you have experience basically and an adult. So
Yeah.
قالت لك سيدي غير تكون نتايا adult وعندك الاكسبيرينس يكون الخير. All right. So you know what? There was a case here of a lady that doesn't have any diplomas, and she worked I think at home, or I think she was working in a bakery for 9 years. 9. There she is. Oh man, she's so lucky. She doesn't have a niveau bac. She has actually less than high school. But she speaks a little bit of French. She speaks a little bit of English. She has 9 years of experience. She's 26. 9 years. Does she have a chance? I mean,
No.
She doesn't have a chance.
Well, how's she going to talk to anyone? Like, if she doesn't speak English, how's she going to get the contract?
She does speak a little bit English and French, but she does.
But a little bit.
A little bit. I mean, I don't think that's going to be enough for the diploma.
No. You know, sometimes people will take the chance. I think there's one man, he's a baker. He has an artisan diploma. So some kind of commune gave him this artisan diploma for a baker. I think he has his 6th grade, and he went to Canada.
Wow.
His 6 EM or whatever it's called. So because he has this baker's artisan diploma or something like that, they let him go.
Wow.
So I mean, you know, there's no really cut and dry. It comes down to the embassy what they can accept.
Okay.
To be honest with you. So if people ask me, I tell them, listen, you can take the chance. You know what I mean? I can't say no. You can take the chance and let them decide if they want to. But if they say no, you have to be prepared for that. Like, don't fool yourself. There is a chance they're going to say no.
اوكي سو اش قلت لكم هي باللي خاص ضروري المهم طونطي لا شونس ديالك اول حاجه طونطي لا شونس ولكن الا كنتي مثلا خارج من القرايه شحال هذه من الابتدائي ولا شي حاجه وعندك خبره كبيره حاول تقاد راسك في اللغات وديك الساعه تبقى في لومباساد هي اللي غادي تشوف اتس اول اباوت ذا امباسي فهمتي ولكن هذا الشيء من بعد ما دير اللغات French diploma because right now they're asking for it regardless they're gonna ask for the French diploma وتلقاه اللي غادي يسبونسوريك ديك الساعات ان شاء الله يقدروا يقبلوك لحقاش 9 سنين ديال الاكسبيرينس it's really good مزيان okay let me see okay so this is a very important question very important what if I only have an attestation of work without CNSS so what do you got to comment about that
So to the embassy, we sent them 3 newspaper reports from Morocco that stated that in Morocco, the government does not make CNSS an obligation.
okay
So you'll find in the food industry, a lot of them employers do not pay CNSS. So as long as they have a work certificate with the ICE, their whatever, their patent or the register of commerce, like the information, and they can find this company in the Moroccan whatever
database whatever
I really don't know where they find it,
yeah.
but they find it. The embassy looks. If it is there, and if they ask you about CNSS, you have to be smart. Why are you working at a job that doesn't have CNSS?
well that's
Why?
well sometimes they have they're not planning on immigrating
They don't have a choice,
yeah sometimes yeah people don't
right?
yeah
They're young man. They have to work. If they wait for CNSS, they will still be sitting in the coffee waiting for that CNSS to come along.
okay.
So they take the first job.
Right. No, I understand.
CNSS
But that's a different topic. When we're talking about like it's too late now, like they're already there, they already have the experience. Is CNSS an obligation? So basically, it's not an obligation because you said the answer in English. Let me translate it in Moroccan. So قلت لكم باللي لا CNSS ماشي obligé بالنسبة للخدمة for work بالنسبة للخدمة ماشي الإيميغريشن not for immigration. For immigration CNSS ضرورية ما تعاسقوش معك فيها ولكن بالنسبة للترافاي الخدمة طومبورير ضروري السينيسيس ماشي ضروري اسمح لي السينيسيس علاش لحقاش ماشي كاع لي زومبلويي كيديروا السينيسيس معاهم ماشي كاع لي هذوك المالين الشركات كيديروها وهما هاد الشركه ديال ديانا صافطت لومباساد قالت لهم الجريده الرسميه قالت لهم باللي راه شوف انت راه اوفيسيالمون ماشي كلشي كيعطي لا سينيسيس يعني راه يعني الناس راه كيكونوا ريغلو مزيانين ولكن ما عندهمش لا سينيسيس يعني كيفاش غادي يبروفي داكشي ديالو بالوثائق الخدمه بالنيميرو دو باتونت ديال فين كنخدم والوثائق الكوميرسيال ديال داك البلاصه اللي كنخدم فيها ديك الساعات لومباسات هي غادي دير الهوم ورك ديالها وغادي تمشي تشوف You got a birds there, huh? Alrighty. So, okay. So self-employed people, basically, you had an answer for this, right, Diana?
So the self-employed people, they need that auto entrepreneur card.
Okay.
Yeah, that's where we'll accept the auto entrepreneur card or their business, like the RC statutes like that. Actually, I think 2 of our painters, they have their own business.
Okay. So قالت لكم باللي جوج من الصباغه اللي دات هذا مثال جوج من الصباغه اللي صافطوا هما لكندا auto entrepreneurs يعني عندهم بطاقه المقاول الذاتي سو ديك البطاقه ديال المقاول الذاتي هي اللي غادي تنفعك بالنسبه للانجينير والدكاتره وداك الشيء راه كنا هضرنا عليهم وغادي نحط ان شاء الله اللايف في الانستغرام okay let's see okay have you ever dealt with somebody that was in the army
Yep.
Oh, you have?
I've dealt with the army man. Actually, he's going to get a contract. No, he's not army. He's gendarmerie. So the gendarmerie, the police, and the army. Now, with all of them, you need to do a detailed report to the embassy, what you were doing.
اوكي
Yeah.
سو قالت لك سيدي بالنسبه للقوات المسلحه ودوك الناس اللي خدموا يعني خدامين في لي بوزيسيون ديال الدوله خاصك دير واحد الرابور سبيسيال غير لك نتايا اللي شنو كنتي كدير سبيسيفيكمون في داك الخدمه اللي درتي. وكاين امل بيان سور، كاين امل باش زعما نجاوب على الناس اللي خدامين في لي بوزيسيون ديال الدوله بحال المسلحه الملكيه، القوات المسلحه ولا ماري رويال. اوكي what else is there? Telecom field. Okay, let's see the first questions that we received. Okay, so people that are in Dubai basically are not a concern, something of concern, because you're working in Morocco, of course, and everything here is Morocco, right? So, people, what can they do? What can they do? People that are
What do
in
you mean?
Dubai,
What can they do?
you have 12 years of experience, so they would have to look up the employees on
Like, for example,
their own,
we have a lot. Okay. So we have a lot of clients who are not in Morocco, and we process them from wherever they are.
Oh, so you do take care of them even if they're over there?
Yeah, we do. For example, we have our McDonald's people from Saudi. They get their visas from Saudi. So we process them from Saudi. They will go, well, they don't go to the embassy there because they don't do anything there. But for example, the people in Dubai, they would go through Abu Dhabi embassy, and in Qatar through Abu Dhabi, and I think Bahrain too is through Abu Dhabi. So they don't need to come back here to apply like that. Yeah, and they don't need citizens either.
Okay.
They have contracts. I mean, they can't stay in those countries without working.
Okay. All right. Well, you know what? This has been. Yeah, this is one last question actually. Is the mobility francophone, is it applied to all categories? There, the French. Let me answer that, and you can have your version. So, French mobility is NOC 0AB, من 0 أو B. And correct me if I'm wrong, Diana.
No, you're right.
And this
That's
is
exactly what it is.
It's from the official website. It's 0A and B. There's no C and there is no D. It's 0AB.
Yeah.
All right.
Exactly.
So last question. So right now we're obviously in Corona 2020, 2021. So how are the visa processing in these circumstances?
So, like I said, this week we've gotten a lot of interviews from the embassy. Red one, he's just got a medical. I forget the girl's name. Fatima. Oh, she's here with us.
Oh,
I seen her name in here.
Okay.
So she just did her medical, and I think she got her visa, or she's going to get it. Yeah.
awesome.
She's on this. I seen her name here somewhere. Yeah, so they're still processing. It's not as fast as it was the couple years.
Right.
We haven't, like, the past year was a waste. We didn't get a lot of contracts, but now we're starting to see the interviews coming as the provinces open. So, I mean, that's a good sign. You just need to be patient. I do not accept harassment in any form.
Okay.
If you think I'm the cause of the pandemic, you're wrong. I mean, I don't have any control over that.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
So
The only thing we can do is process their French.
So let me translate that for them. قالت لك سيدي باللي البانديمي كانوا شي شويه معطلين، ولكن دابا بداو كيزيدوا شويه بشويه، بداو كيزيدوا البيس ديالهم، بداو كيطلعوا في شحال يعني كيبروسيسيو هما ديال لي دوموند. وكاين شي وحدين هنا دوزاتهم بحال هذه اللي قالت لك فاطمه، راها ديجا شو سميتو، ديجا عطاوها الميديكال، دارت الفينجر برينتس. Right, it's including fingerprinting. I think it's not excluded in the coronavirus, fingerprinting, right, Diana?
No, they need to do the fingerprints too. Yeah.
So you do the fingerprinting, كدير هذا، كدير الميديكال, and then you get the visa. I mean, if they decide to give you the visa. Okay, so one more question. We're gonna take one more question. I personally have to go. What about people that have experience in other fields like customer service or call centers, especially call centers? I get this a lot.
Yeah. You know what? Our call centers are in Morocco.
So you're outsourcing everything.
They outsource. It's cheaper for them. Bell Canada's in Morocco. There's a lot of places that are doing in Morocco, that are here in Morocco, India, Philippines, and Egypt. So I've never seen a call center job.
Yeah.
Unfortunately,
Okay.
I haven't.
That's awesome. Okay, well, you know what, Diana, you have been a great source of information. Thank you so much for being here with us. And you know what, we look forward for future collaboration. If anyone needs anything, they could go in your profile, talk to you in private, whatever. And of course, anyone who needs my help, يجي عندي يهضر معايا. I have no problem. And شكرا بزاف الدراري. Thank you so much, Diana, for this live.
You're welcome.
And دراري مهم كنحاولوا حنا نوصلوا لكم المعلومه واخا ما كنجاوبوش على كل شيء ولكن كنحاولوا نديروا even though we don't answer everyone we do our best because you can't answer everyone even if you had 100 years you cannot answer everything so sometimes you gotta go look up the information yourself خاصك تمشي تقلب على انفورماسيون راسك sometimes you go official websites يجي عندي انا ادخل عند الناس في يوتيوب it's not a problem okay the problem is the thing is you gotta get your answers and you gotta get the right answers not any answers. Do you have anything to add?
Go to the best sources.
Yes.
Yeah. So I just want to recuperate what I need. I need a French. I need English. I don't need synesis. I don't need a diploma. I need experience. The same as the job. Yeah.
And mostly mostly it's NOCB, but you never know. You never know.
Sometimes I get LMIA, but this is not a part of my job. Like the painters are LMIA.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's not something that I always do or we always get. It's just something that came along, I guess.
I guess.
But anyway, like you said, if anyone has any questions, they're welcome to ask me. I don't fiddle fart around. I give you directly what I know. If I don't know it, I ask you to go find it yourself.
Awesome.
Or I find it.
Yeah, or send you the link or something like the official.
Exactly.
All right, guys. Well, thank you so much, Diana. I'm gonna let you go. You can feel free to leave this live. And again, thank you so much.
You're welcome. Have a good one. Be safe, everyone.
Have a good night.
I don't know how to close it.
There's an X. هاي دراري المهم لايف كان مطرطق مزيان المعلومات ناضيين شكرا بزاف على الحضور ديالكم وعلى لي زانفورماسيون اللي كتخرجوا من المعلومه نتوما هما اللي كتخرجوا من المعلومه بالسؤال so that's really good شكرا بزاف الدراري انا نخلي هذا اللايف لمعلوماتكم الخاصه هنايا في يوتيوب غنقسم ونقردو مزيان وان شاء الله خير ماكدو اخويا تجربه الله يعاون سيرو خدموا الفرنسي تي او اف تشي تي او اف ما تخسر والو ما غتخسر حتى حاجه اصاحبي سير خدم وديرو في جيبك حيت النيفو اللي عندك راه عندك اللي عنده يلا تهلاو الدراري السلام عليكم